All right.
Ew,
I know. She's evil. Alexa's evil twin. Oh, yes, word. I'm from Dearborn. Wait, do you know Dearborn? Like, have you heard of it? It's just outside of Detroit. But okay, anyway. We will get started with our presentation. Here we have the unofficial, oh my goodness, I can't see. The unofficial guide to your first year at Fordham. All right. Okay, so we can all reintroduce ourselves because we've had more new friends join us. I'm Stephanie. I'm one of the orientation coordinators. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a rising senior. I'm a global business major and I'm concentrating in marketing with consumer insights. And I'm originally from Dearborn, Michigan, so I'm a resident on campus.
I'm so tired. I'm a senior. Anyway, hi, I'm Sam Rizzo. I'm another orientation coordinator. I'm a rising senior music major with a double minor in theater and marketing. I'm also president of Splinter Group on campus, our musical theater troupe. We'll talk more about that later. Yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm Hannah. I'm a rising junior. I'm a dance major and English minor. I'm from New Jersey. And yeah, I think that's it.
And we also have a fourth OC, Miss Rita. She'll be here soon. She's a communication and culture major with the humanities minor. And she's originally from Brooklyn, so you'll get to meet her soon. All right. So getting involved, here are just a few ways to get involved on campus. So here are some of our favorite clubs and departmental organizations. We're a big fan of The Observer, which is the newspaper at Fordham, Splinter Musical Theater Group, which Sam might want to speak a bit more about.
Yeah, so Splinter is a student-run organization on campus, obviously, and we put on full musical productions every semester, which is really fun. We also do like open mics and cabarets and mini concerts and things like that. We did a lot of that over the past year with COVID and being remote and everything. So hopefully we'll try to incorporate a little bit more of that as we do those full-length productions. We're looking for actors, dancers, singers, choreographers, directors, music directors, props masters, costume designers, literally every single element of putting a show together. If you do set design, if you do lighting design, we have all of that. It's an opportunity for you guys to kind of do all of that on campus, which is really cool. In addition to the stuff that the theater program provides for their department and those majors and minors. Yeah, so we put in licensing for our show for this year. We're waiting to hear back. There's a few logistical things that like we're kind of waiting on as we're booking the event spaces and rehearsal spaces and like whatever. So hopefully we'll get back to you guys sooner with more specific information and dates and stuff for auditions and whatever. But it's a lot of fun. It's a good time. If you check out our stuff on Instagram, you can watch some of our older shows. We did Into the Woods last before we got kicked off campus before COVID. So lots of good stuff.
Yeah, some of our other favorite clubs are Black Students Alliance, Student Organization of Latinx, F Sharps, which is our a cappella group, Filipinos of Lincoln Center offering Welcome, Stove's Comedy Club, Feminist Alliance, Wavelengths, which is the radio station on campus, which is super fun. If you join the club, you can become a DJ and you like make a playlist and you can like play the set. One of my friends was like the Wednesday DJ and she like gave me a shout out during her set one time. I felt like I was famous. Lincoln Center Society, which are the student ambassadors. I'm actually in LCS, I give tours, and Campus Activities Board. They do so many fun events. They do bingo, which I will plug. They give away great prizes. Someone won a TV recently, so definitely recommend going to Cap Bingo. All right.
Alrighty, next we have some other events on campus, fan favorites. We have midnight breakfast. This happens during finals week, which is pretty amazing. Faculty comes together, so we have breakfast, a nice study break. Winterfest, the Welcome Back picnic, obviously Splinter shows are a big fun event. The Christmas tree lightings. This is like, I think it's the week we get back from Thanksgiving break that we'll light the Christmas tree on our plaza. It's like the same week that Rockefeller Center does theirs, which is kind of cute. You can get free mugs. There's hot chocolate. It's like very sweet. Spring Fling, the main stage and studio shows put on by the theater department. the LC After Dark Silent Disco is very funny to watch, but it's a fun time to participate in. CAD Bingo, where you can win crazy prizes, and Stove's Comedy Club and their shows, and of course, orientation.
Most importantly, orientation.
Yeah.
All right.
So we also have lots of service opportunities here at Fordham. We have Global Outreach, Urban Plunge, and the Center for Community Engaged Learning. The Urban Plunge application deadline is today, so if anybody is interested in applying for that, please make sure you do so. Oh, I think Rita is here. She might be better equipped to, if she's prepared, to talk some more about Urban Plunge and Global Outreach and the Center for Community.
I am always prepared, Hannah. JK. What's up? Hi, everyone. Just to introduce myself really quickly, my name is Rita. I'm the last of the 4 OCs. I'm a rising senior, originally from Brooklyn, communications major, humanitarian studies minor, accelerated master's program, blah, blah, blah. Service opportunities at Fordham, crazy. Crazy that I entered exactly at that time because I do have a lot to talk about this. So first, just to touch on Urban Plunge, which is the one that I'm least familiar with. Urban Plunge is a pre-orientation program. So the application for that is actually today. So if what we say here convinces you to apply, make sure you go do that, as soon as possible before the application closes. But it's a pre-orientation program that really helps you get involved in the community in New York City, especially if you're someone from not here. That may not know a lot about New York or what our communities here kind of face. It's a really, really great way to get to know other people and get involved in New York City. You'll be leading service projects and participating in service projects throughout the city that can center on things from like social justice to economic justice to food insecurity, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So if that's something that appeals to you, I definitely encourage you to apply. People really, really seem to love the program. So definitely do it. I unfortunately was not able to do it, even though I really wanted to. The one that I do have a lot of information about is Global Outreach, because that's something that I've participated in before. So Global Outreach is a program that sponsors domestic and internationally based service learning and cultural immersion programs over your winter, spring, or summer break. So what happens is you apply into a project, you have to interview for the team. Hopefully, if you're selected for the team, you'll be meeting with your team for several weeks, couple of months leading up to your departure date, where you'll be learning about the place that you're actually going to, such as like the history, the culture, whatever specific issues that you'll be focusing on. And then you go and you actually live in that community for a week or two and really get to the chance to kind of explore it, get to know community leaders that are, hoping for change in their communities, what they're actually doing to work on that, and things like that. So I had the experience of going to South Africa, to Cape Town in my freshman year, the summer after my freshman year for 2 weeks. And it was an incredible experience. I really appreciated that opportunity to get to know the city, which is, it's a beautiful city. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. And then also get to hear from a bunch of community leaders that live within Cape Town, work within Cape Town, have had, their history and their family's history in Cape Town, and how they're still striving to put an end to a bunch of post-apartheid struggles after apartheid ended. So it was a great experience. Hoping to do one again soon. That's in the works. So I highly suggest it. And then the Center for Community Engaged Learning is the center that kind of coordinates these programs. And they also have a bunch of other opportunities available for students that are interested in this type of stuff, more service projects and things like that. I know that there's a very popular tutoring program. There are a bunch of drives that they organize. So if there's anything that you're looking for specifically, any specific volunteer and opportunity, definitely 100% talk to them, and they'll point you in the right direction.
Awesome. All right, so we're going to move on to things to do in NYC, concrete jungles where dreams are made of. All right, so our first thing is shopping. Shop till you drop. So around campus, some fun places where you can go get groceries are Trader Joe's. There's one super close on 72nd, so super quick walk. That's where I do most of my grocery shopping. Whole Foods, which is super close to Morton Williams, and of course Target. Can you tell what our favorite store is? Maybe for clothing, we have H&M, Target, TJ Maxx, thrift shops, and Nordstrom. For pharmaceuticals, we have CVS, Duane Reade, and Target. And others, Bed Bath & Beyond, TJ Maxx, and Target. They just opened up a Target super close to the Lincoln Center campus, so we've all been taking advantage of having one so close by. We love Target.
Vroom, ways to get around the city. So one is a Ram van. This is a 30-minute shuttle between the Bronx campus and our campus. It's free for students who are involved in classes at Rose Hill and in clubs at Rose Hill. You'll get like a set of them for the semester, and you'll be able to use them to get back and forth, which is really nice and convenient. And then I think it's only like $3 for a ticket, if I remember correctly. So it's very cheap to get back and forth, and you're brought like from our front door right to their front door within the gates, which is really nice and convenient. The subway, we're right near Columbus Circle. You can basically get anywhere, which is really nice. There's the A, C, B, D, and 1 train that runs through. And then we're also close to the 57th Street station and 7th Avenue, where the NQRW trains run. If you like want to get down to Washington Square Park, NYU area, you would take those trains down. And then we're also close to the 66th Street station, the 1 train. If it's raining, the best way to go is go to the 66th Street station and then run and go through McKeon, that entrance, and then get to wherever you need to be on campus and use the tunnels. Buses, a bus tip. This is actually from Rita. Make sure you request your stop so that you actually get off, even though it says that it's a stop. Sometimes it doesn't stop. So you just need to give them that little reminder. But yeah, there's also the Metro North, the Long Island Railroad. If you want to head out to Long Island, go to the beach. Long Beach train takes like 50 minutes to get there. Pretty nice, good restaurant. Not me plugging my home, the homeland. Anyway, biking and using City Bike. There's City Bikes all over. If you want to bring a bike, coordinate with your roommates because there's not a lot of space here, but technically you can bring it. And obviously walking, get those steps in. It's great for your health. And then maybe you don't have to go to the gym since you're walking X amount of miles a day.
Next, we have fun things to do near Lincoln Center. For parks, there's Central Park, which is super close by, and it's also huge, so it's kind of everywhere. Riverside Park, the Green at Lincoln Center, which just recently opened up. It's really cute. Like you can sit by the fountain, and there's like grass and like hills that people like to slide down and stuff like that. There's also Bryant Park, which in the winter they do like a little marketplace thing, and they have ice skating, and it's really nice. If you like brunch, there's a bunch of really good brunch places around us. We have the Smith, the Empire Rooftop, Sarah Beth's, Maison Pickle, Westville, and Mom's Kitchen, all of which have really amazing food. So I would recommend checking them out. For museums, there's the Museum of Natural History, the Met, the MoMA, and the New York Historical Society. And really, you can go anywhere because we're close to so many trains. You can get almost anywhere really easily. So there's tons of things to do in the city.
Am I going? Hell yeah. Okay, this is my second time doing this today. Everyone who has a phone, take out your phone, head over to Instagram, and type in Uncover More. I'm not biased. I don't work as an intern there. What are you saying? Not me using this as a space to promo myself. Not myself, just my boss, I suppose. But these are a bunch of like resources that you can use to kind of just like know what's going on in New York City. Like we are in the best city in the world. Take advantage of it. Get out. Do things. Find your favorite brunch spot. Go to this really cool pop-up shop. All that fun stuff you can do. So these are some great spaces to kind of stay up to date with everything that's kind of happening in New York City and discover new things. Uncover More, not biased, Secret NYC, New York City Food Coma, obviously if that's food specific, Time Out New York. Also, for those that are going to be living in the Upper West Side, whether that's on campus or off campus, Stoop in New York City is a great place to find like people's trash is another man's treasure. Let's put it that way. You never know what you will find on the side of the road, and so people like post about it all the time, and you can like run and race people to pick up a really cool mirror or a painting or a couch. Like, who knows? Also, neighborhood newsletters are really cool. So there's one called I Love the Upper West Side that just goes over the stuff that's happening in the Upper West Side. That's really neat.
Some of the benefits you can gain as a Fordham student. Lots of club events will give out free food, so definitely take advantage of that. Look at all the posters that are hanging up and see what's going on. Discounted movie tickets. Central Park is literally 2 seconds away. It's like our backyard. Fordham Night at Yankee Stadium, where you can get Fordham merch, I believe. Yeah. The Welcome Back Picnic, Midnight Breakfast, which we touched on, Midday Breakfast, which we also touched on. Like I said, club events, and then the Bronx Zoo and the Botanical Gardens are in the Bronx. So you can take the Ram van up to there. And then some places around that have student discounts are Birch Coffee, which is a fan favorite. Fordham students love Birch Coffee. Black Press Coffee, Allen's, which is right across the street, the Walter Reed Theater, the MoMA, and the Met. You can get discounted tickets for Lincoln Center shows. You get discounts at Midtown Comics, the Y, Carnegie Hall, and Mets tickets 72 hours before, and Yankee tickets on select days. So a lot of student benefits, a lot of Fordham specific benefits. You got a lot going for you.
Food. Bon appetit. Campus dining, where you can use your declining balance or meal swipes. So we have the community dining hall that's going to be located at the bottom of McKeon of the freshman only dorms. It's like attached to the law school. You will learn more when you guys get to campus. Ram Cafe is located in the Lowenstein building. You can grab a snack, a smoothie, you can get a meal. There's lots of really good food there. I love the chicken fingers and fries, delicious. Yeah, and something that's great that they just started doing at RamCaf is that you can use meal swipes there. They have it like set up like what you can get with a meal swipe if you wanted to do that. So that's something new. And then Argo Tea, located in the Garden Lounge, is my favorite spot. You can get tea and coffee. Think of it as like Starbucks but better. And they have really good like pastries and like little sandwiches and stuff. I don't know, delicious. I love the they have like a cheese and I think it's a leek pastry. It's delicious. It's green stuff and cheese. Amazing. Yeah, and then you can hang out by Argo Tea. The Garden Lounge is really fun. So it's a hot spot. Everyone loves Argo. And the Argo Tea ladies, like who work there, they are incredible. We love them. They really make Fordham.
For cooking, where you can embrace your inner Gordon Ramsay. In McKeon, the first year dorms, there's a kitchen on the 22nd floor. It is a shared kitchen throughout the whole building, or throughout the residencies in that building. So that's something to take note of. But if you ever are in the mood to cook yourself a meal, there is a kitchen available for you to do so. And in McMahon, since the rooms are suite style, each suite does have a full kitchen.
Ordering in. I guess just the big thing for this, is that New York City has so many yummy places that you will fall in love with. And sometimes you're going to be too lazy to actually go to them. So you're going to want to order in. Just keep an eye on those fees. Popular things to use are like Postmates, Uber Eats, Grubhub, Seamless, all that fun stuff. It does add up. Be aware of that. Whenever you can, try to use like the restaurant's like straight delivery service, just so you know that like no fees are going to like these shitty corporations that pay their delivery people nothing. And it can go straight to like the restaurant that you're supporting, and you can like tip the tip the delivery guy directly, things like that. It still might be a little more expensive just because New York State prices, but I mean, you'll get used to that. You'll learn. I will also say we used to have a thing on here that said only do it occasionally, as if I'm not going to leave here today and order myself the biggest meal on the entire planet. So it's going to happen. It's okay. Sometimes you'll be like, well, I just really want bubble tea, but I'm too lazy to move. And do I want to spend $20 on having it delivered to me, which is ridiculous? And sometimes you'll do it. And just know it's okay and there's no shame.
Before I switch over the slide, I'm going to plug one more app because it's my favorite thing in the whole world. It's called Too Good To Go. And it's all like the restaurants and bakeries around. They'll post if they have food that they're going to have to end up throwing away at the end of the day, and they sell it for super, super cheap. So you're helping by saving food waste by getting this food for yourself. So for example, I was really wanting a bagel from my favorite place, Pick a Bagel, and I saw that they were on Too Good To Go, and I reserved my little bag, and I went and picked it up. My bag that I reserved was $6, and I go to Pick a Bagel, and I pick up the bag. You just like show up and they hand you whatever it is that they have that day. And they gave me 13 bagels for $6. So I had this whole stack of bagels that I was carrying down the street, but definitely recommend, definitely will plug Too Good To Go forever because it is the best. But yeah, so here are some of our favorite restaurants. I'll go ahead and read my list first. So my top tier is Vanessa's Dumpling House, which is in Chinatown. Another of my favorites is Empanada Mama, which is a Fordham staple. It's super close to campus. So many Fordham people love going there. Chai Tai Kitchen, which is also pretty close to campus. Belaine Sherry, which is a coffee shop. I love doing homework there, and they have super good matcha. Grand Central is another coffee shop. Murray's Mac and Cheese. Blank Slate is good for brunch. Mochi Doki is mochi, which I also love. And BB's is really good bubble tea, which is pretty close to campus too.
My favorites, the Smith. You're not a Fordham student until you go get lunch at the Smith. I love their bacon, lettuce, tomato, and egg sandwich. And it comes with fries and this lemon aioli. It is to die for. It's amazing. Burrito Box is down the street. We love Burrito Box, another Fordham staple. Alice's Teacup is uptown. It's like in the lower 70s. It's really cute. You go inside, it's all Alice in Wonderland themed, and like it's very good. Definitely a fun spot. Van Leeuwen Ice Cream. Terakawa Ramen was down the street, like down a block away from school, and it closed, I'm pretty sure. So I'm very upset. It was a hole in the wall ramen place. It was really good. And they like made everything in front of you. And it was like everyone sat at like one U table inside. It was like very cool. Hopefully it comes back. Praying. Cafeteria is downtown. They make really good mac and cheese egg roll, spring roll things. Amazing. Allen's Deli is like across the street. The Flame is across the other street. Lots of fun. There's been a Lin-Manuel Miranda sighting there many a time. In case you're a fan and want to hang out there. Turnstile Underground Market is located in the Columbus Circle subway system station. That is the word, station. Yeah, it's just like a strip of like all these different food places and stuff if you go. So very cool. There's Bobo Pizza, all that. Shake Shack, delicious. And then Waffles and Dinges, which has like a rewards program. It's basically different food carts around the city. The Waffles and Dinges one, obviously it's waffles. And apparently they told me, because I signed up for the rewards, that when I reach X amount of points, they'll send me to Belgium. Don't know how true that is. Hoping that's true. Maybe we'll find out one day.
Some of my favorites, which have some overlap with our other favorites, are definitely Burrito Box, the Meatball Shop, which like has a bunch of different kinds of meatballs. Like it's not all beef; they do chicken and pork and veggie. You can get like any kind of pasta and any kind of sauce. It's really cute. There's El Centro, another one of my favorite Mexican restaurants, super close by. Shake Shack, of course. The Jin, which is this really cute, really small Korean fried chicken place, and it is delicious. Pick a Bagel, of course, because I love bagels. The Flame Diner, because it's open 24 hours. If you're ever hungry in the middle of the night, you can take a short walk to the Flame. Mom's Kitchen and Bar, Westville, and Five Napkin Burger are some of my other favorites.
My favorites include Tenzin, which is a sushi place that I really love. Hummus Kitchen, which is in Hell's Kitchen. It's like Mediterranean food. They have like these really good like platter dishes that I think are so yummy. El Matote is my favorite Mexican place ever. It is so yummy. Harvest Kitchen is really good. Ashoka is an Indian restaurant that's right by me, and they used to do a dinner special that was so lovely, and they just got rid of it, and I'm so sad. I'm so sad. Locale is a Mediterranean place also by my apartment that has the most amazing hummus and bread I've ever had in my life. Cilantro, if you're looking for something to take like leftovers home from, like this is the place to go. It's like everything's gonna be like a little pricier because New York City. But this place like gives you the food, like the amount of food that you are paying for. Like I have usually, and I'm an eater. Like I eat. I usually have like 2 days worth of leftovers after like going there. Like when I ordered the fajitas specifically. I haven't tried it with anything else because the fajitas and their sour cream, but literally so good. Burrito box, empanada mama, and I forgot to add this because I could see I was in the thought of doing it and then I just didn't type it. Mud, which is in the down, I don't know where exactly, I forgot, but it's where like Timothy Chalamet likes to get his coffee. So, and they do a wonderful brunch.
Amazing. I've never heard of Mud. I need to go there now.
You'll literally go. No, they do wonderful. Yeah. Okay.
All right, moving into college life. Fun, funky, and fresh tips and tricks to help you adjust to life on campus. So our first slide is about studying tips and tricks. So some of the classic Fordham study locations are Quinn Library, which has 3 floors, and as you go up, it gets quieter and quieter. So the first floor you can use for like group work. Second floor is like you can talk, but like keep it to a whisper. And then the third floor is silent. The residence halls have study lounges that you can use. Argo T area is a crowd favorite. Lots of group projects happen outside Argo T. The outdoor plaza, there are benches, tables, even if you like set up a little picnic blanket on the grass and do your homework out there. Off campus, of course, Starbucks, Central Park, New York Public Library, and there are tons of fun coffee shops all around too that you can get your studying done at. Some tricks we wish we knew earlier: go to office hours, gets you brownie points, and it helps with future assignments. It's super important to get to know your professors. We'll more on that later. Peer tutors, definitely take advantage of those. Essay help from the grad students in the Writing Center, which is in the library. You can set up an appointment with them and they'll help you figure out what to do with your essay. Readings can pile up, so definitely do them ASAP, schedule homework ahead of time, and take advantage of having your syllabus. So what I like to do is right when I get my syllabus, I get my little planner and I write down like all of the important due dates right away, just so I know that they're there. There are no surprises coming up as the semester progresses. Hannah, do you want to take this one?
Sorry, I was muted. Okay, so professors, your professors are here to help you. Go to office hours. Not only does it show your dedication to class, it really helps you, like just helps you in your classes. Advocate for yourself. If you're struggling in a class or you feel like a teacher, you're not getting through the class the way you think you should, speak up for yourself, which can be very intimidating, but this is your college experience, so it's important to speak up for yourself and get what you deserve to get out of your classes. And create a relationship with your professors. You might not like all of your teachers, which is totally normal. There's no way you're going to like everyone you ever meet. And that's totally fine, but hopefully you will like your teachers because Fordham offers a wide variety of professors with tons of different teaching styles, and you can definitely find the class that works for you. Talk to other people, upperclassmen, people who have probably taken the classes that you're going to take, find out what they thought of certain teachers and who they think you should take. That's always really helpful. If you need an extension, just ask. Professors are human too. They have empathy. There's no harm in asking if you need to. I mean, it's not a guarantee that they always will give you one, but you won't know until you ask. Being open and honest is key. Professors care about your well-being, so keep them in the loop about what's going on and they'll be there for you. Networking. Professors can definitely help with letters of recommendations and finding internships and job opportunities. They have tons of connections in and out of their respective fields. So it's important to build relationships with the professors you think can help you.
All right. Oh, so sorry for that Slack noise. Never ends. Academic advisors. So get to know your advisor well. They're really here to help you navigate, the Fordham system throughout your first year, especially. They're going to help you with registration. They'll help you plan ahead for study abroad if you know you want to go to study abroad at a certain time and do these specific courses or whatever it may be, the specific program. Like, you need to know what you need to complete now. So like, get a head start on that. They'll help you track down like internships or other Fordham opportunities that you may be interested in. Definitely schedule meetings with them. You have to schedule meetings with them at least twice per year before registration opens for the upcoming semester. If you don't schedule a meeting with them or don't have them approve your schedule in sometimes a way, like I know the communication department sometimes does it by email, but most of them are like primarily meeting based. If you don't do that and you don't talk to them about what you are studying, you will have a hold on your account and you will not be able to register. Don't do it. Trust me. Trust us. We are wise. We are veterans. Get to registration as quick as possible. So make sure you're on your shit so you don't be late, because that will not be a fun time. Once you officially declare your major, you get to pick who you want as your advisor if they have the capacity to take you on. Otherwise, you'll be assigned to someone within the department that you're majoring in. That also means that your advisor will change. So you're all going to be with a first-year advisor. It's not necessarily someone that works within your department, but once you declare your major, then you'll be with someone within the area that you're concentrating in. And they're a resource and a mentor, so take advantage of them.
Yeah, the meeting with your advisor, like, and not doing so will lead to a hold is a bit different for Gabelli, but so it can vary. But just so you know, Gabelli students, don't be afraid if that scared you a little bit, that bullet point. All right, textbooks. So definitely wait until you get the syllabus to buy because they're super pricey. And some professors don't even use them. So just hold off, wait until you get the feel of the class and the feel of the professor before making that commitment. Always do a price comparison. There are a lot of options. You can go to the Fordham bookstore, Amazon, Chegg, Thrift Books, just to make sure you're getting the best deal. E-textbooks are usually cheaper and rentals sometimes last half the year. That's what I did the whole of last year. I rented e-textbooks and it was super, super cheap. So definitely if e-textbooks are your thing, definitely recommend. So rent or buy used when possible. Students often sell their textbooks in the Fordham Facebook group, so join those just so you can see what's going on in there. Look for online PDFs or even check Quinn Library for copies of the textbooks. So you definitely have a lot of options when it comes to textbooks.
Okay, next up we have campus services. Here's how Fordham can help you. So here are some of Fordham's resources. We have the Health Center, the Office of Disability Services, the Office of Financial Aid, the Tutoring Center, Writing Center, which both of those are super helpful. Even if you're not juggling in a class, you just want a little bit of extra help, those are really helpful resources to have. We have Campus Ministry, Career Services, the Center for Community Engaged Learning, and Counseling and Psychological Services. And, if you ever are just feeling down or anything is bothering you about college or anything else in your life, counseling and psychological services are a really useful resource to have here. And if you're looking for someone off campus, Fordham can help you find that as well. So.
Awesome. So if you have any questions beyond this presentation, contact us. You know where to find us at any of these handles. So on Instagram at OrientLC, on our Fordham Facebook page, Class of 2025 Facebook group. You can email us at our orientation account, or those are our personal emails below. So feel free to, shoot us a message on those as well. We'd love to hear from you. We're always here. I think it's our favorite part of this job. So definitely, reach out to us. Yeah, awesome. So we can end the screen share. Whoa, awesome. Where are our lovely panelists?
Yes. I see.
Hi, Emma.
Oh my goodness.
Lovely. Margaret's coming in. There's Evelyn.
Evelyn's here. Oh, look at see all their smiling faces.
Yay. Are we? Oh, Margaret just entered. Hi, Margaret. Let us know when you could. Yay, there you are.
Hey guys.
Wonderful. Yeah. Okay, awesome. Ooh.
Oh,
Oh, and Edward. I forgot Edward's coming. Hell yeah. He was the backbone of our program today. Well, many people were. He was one of them. Is he on the way? I don't see him. But tell if he's in or not. I hope everyone likes my song.
you have a beautiful voice.
Thank you. I'm gonna. Oh, there's Edward. Hi. Lovely. Okay. Awesome. So this is, your moment to ask our lovely Fordham students who are now pinned and spotlighted any questions that they have about like the student experience here at Fordham. Of course, the OCs and I are also here to answer that. Feel free to come off of mute and ask your questions. Feel free to put them in the chat. We'll see them. But yeah, this is your moment. Move-in is coming soon. First day of orientation is coming soon. So you might have things lingering in the back of your mind. Nothing is off limits. We want to make sure that you have, all of the information that you can before you come here. So
We want to have the OLs introduce themselves so that maybe if someone has the same major as one of the OLs, has a question about that. Emma, do you want to go first?
Yeah, hi folks. My name is Emma Hoke. I am a senior. My preferred pronouns are she, her, hers. I am in Gabelli. I am a global business major concentrating in finance and business economics, and I'm also getting a secondary concentration in information systems. My hometown is Tamaqua, PA. I'm a resident on campus in McMahon, and some of the stuff that I do on campus, you'll see me as an OL. I'm a part of Girl Boss, which is our undergraduate women in business club, and I studied abroad if you have any questions about that.
So Margaret, do you want to go next?
Sure. So yeah, I'm Margaret. I'm also a rising senior, but I'm at FCLC. I'm a communications and culture major. I'm from Bermuda, so I am an international student, but I am a commuter at the same time. I'm also a transfer student. So cover a lot of bases there. If you have questions about that, happy to answer them. My preferred pronouns are she, her, hers. And so glad to be here and see you guys.
Awesome. Evelyn, do you want to introduce yourself next?
Hi, I'm Evelyn. I'm majoring in new media and digital design with a concentration in new media and information and minoring in English. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm from Rochester, New York. I used to be a resident, but I just moved off campus to Hell's Kitchen, and it's been a very wild move, so that's why I'm not in person. But yeah, I know a lot about changing majors because I had like the existential major change crisis. So if you have any questions on that, I got a lot of info.
And last but not least, Edward, would you mind introducing yourself?
Yeah, so hi everyone. My name's Edward. My pronouns are he, him. I'm a rising sophomore from Lincoln Center, and then what else? Yeah, I'm from Fresno, California, so it's like really hot over here. I know in New York there's a lot of rain, but over here there's literally a drought, so that's fun. And I guess for me, I could help with just regards with just a lot of club joining and stuff like that, because and also with like wellness programs, because I will be a Be Well educator at our school in the fall semester. And then also there's an amazing, if you guys like volunteer work, there's an amazing organization at both campuses called Pedro Rupa Volunteers that you get to go into your communities and help out a lot. So if you have any questions about that, you can always ask me too.
Pink. Okay. If anyone has any questions and wants to start us off, feel free to come off mute or drop some in the chat. Give it a minute to see if anyone wants to step forward. Ooh, great question. What is one thing that you wish you would have brought with you on move-in day? Whoever wants to jump on that, feel free to.
That's a super interesting question. I am a commuter, so I don't live on campus. I've not lived on campus at Fordham, but I did do 5 years of boarding school and another year at my last university. So dorms are like my specialty. And I have a whole like list of do's and don'ts, but you definitely want shower shoes. Like I feel like that's talked about a lot, but you don't realize how important it is until you're like, I'm gonna go take a shower. Crocs are in for a reason, like definitely have a pair with you. So I know that's kind of weird to talk about, but definitely one of those.
Yeah,
Oh, you can go.
Okay. Yeah, I would also add maybe just because like I know some people are coming from like different states, so they don't have like the opportunity to like travel in car and take more stuff. So some people buy stuff here. I would say like a water filter just because as a college student, a lot of us drink a lot of water, but we don't want to pay constantly to buy water bottles. And also with climate change and everything, a water filter is always really helpful and it's immediate. So yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say like cleaning products because you are responsible for cleaning your own bathroom. So that's something is you can coordinate with the people you're like sharing a bathroom with, but it is good to kind of have like some initial like Clorox wipes and like toilet cleaner because you're moving into a little bit of an uncharted territory. And I also, if I had done my move in different, I would have brought a little bit less because I brought a lot of like containers that were extremely pointless. Even though the dorms are like pretty big at least in McKean in comparison to a lot of other places, I found that packing in suitcases has been the better option for me because containers are it's just too much space and I never used them. It was kind of ridiculous.
My only suggestion, I lived in a McKeon Hall triple. So our setup was super weird. Our room was very, very long and very narrow. So I brought a 10-foot phone charger and I ended up needing it because my only outlet was at like all the way at the bottom of my bed and I am a phone bed user. So definitely bring that. And then my only don't, I bought all kinds of extra decorative things that I thought were going to look so great. And like one of those sticky calendars, and it was always like 3 months behind. So you really don't need it, even though it's fun at Bed Bath & Beyond. You won't use it. So just be practical, I guess.
Awesome.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So for people like if you have like a really heavy workload and you have to work late at night and you don't want to like bother your roommate, what alternatives do you have to like working in your dorm?
I would say for late at night, at least my recommendation would be probably the end of some of the halls have study rooms in your dorm building. I think that's probably the most convenient at night because you're probably not going to want to go super far. But the library is open pretty late depending on what day of the week it is. So that's another great resource, especially around midterms and finals times. Like it'll be open all the time. So that's definitely a resource you can use. But I lived in the end of the hall study room.
And I would say for those that end up maybe living in McMahon, because some people do like transfer students and stuff like that, you could always work in like your little kitchen area, the living room area around there. Just be mindful of your roommates if they are sleeping, just so you have that area if you live in McMahon.
My one pointer would be also is if you do plan on working late every night, that's totally up to you. Like if you work better that way, that's for sure. But definitely have an open line of communication with your roommate. So if you're coming in every night from the study space, which is more convenient, and keeping, but if you do that every night, it may be just something you should always kind of keep that line of communication open with your roommates and just check in with them, even if you're trying to do like the most respectful thing for them. That's my advice.
We have a hand raised. Forgive me if I pronounce your name wrong. Camo?
Kamal, but yes, it's all good. My question is about what, because I'm wondering, I'm not too clear on what the rules are. Are coffee makers allowed of any type allowed in either of the campuses, neither of the residence halls?
They are in McMahon, right?
I believe they are in McKeon as well.
Earlier today, they were talking about it. There is a list of approved and unapproved appliances somewhere on the FAQ page for the residency, like the housing. But what I do know is that coffee machines are an approved appliance for all dorms.
Yeah, and one thing to remind everyone, just in case you don't know, for people living in McMahon, you can't bring a mini fridge since you already have like a fridge in the suite area. But McKean, you're allowed to bring a mini fridge. But for McMahon, I think you're allowed to bring a microwave if I'm correct on that. So yeah.
We have another hand raised, Magnolia, if you want to go ahead and unmute.
Yeah, so I heard a couple of you say that you have both a major and a concentration, and I was wondering if you could elaborate on the difference between the two.
So for me, as not a Gabelli student, because Gabelli is kind of on their own wavelength. So I'm majoring in new media and digital design. So there's 3 different concentrations for that. So I can choose to focus in marketing for like new media and digital design. I can choose to do a more visual art one, or I can choose to do an information one, which is what I'm doing. So some of my classes include like copyright law, typography, like digital, like writing for magazine, like digital writing and stuff like that. So it's more focused on like putting information out there as opposed to like art or marketing.
Yeah, for Gabelli, it's a little bit different. So you'll notice quickly, if you're not in Gabelli, that everyone is a global business major, and then everyone will have their own set concentration in time. Everyone starts off just flat global business, but eventually you'll pick the track that you're most interested in. So it's a little bit different than looking at FCLC, but that's kind of what's up as far as Gabelli goes.
I see there's a question about the accelerated master's program. I'm in the program, but I want to make sure is anyone on our panel in it and can talk on it? Otherwise I can. Okay. So the accelerated master's program. So Fordham has a bunch of like 5-year programs that you can apply into if there's something that you're interested in. The application process begins in your junior year. So that's really when you should be applying into these programs, and they'll also like bombard you with emails about it. So like you will not miss it. That is not possible, but it is good to be like on top of your game and just like at the start of your junior year, like start reaching out to people you want to reach out to, start like looking at the application, things like that. Of course, like the application differs for like each program. So like mine was like a relatively light one, but like there might be ones that are more in depth that you want to like start earlier than others. The benefits of it being that you're going to come out with your master's in only 1 extra year of schooling, because you start your master's classes during your senior year of college for your undergraduate degree, and then continue that in a 5th year at Fordham. You'll also be able, you take up to 3 courses that are master's design courses during your senior year. that count also towards your undergraduate education. So you can like double count them towards the undergraduate degree and the graduate degree. And you're only paying the undergraduate rate for them. So whatever your tuition is, like you're just paying like your regular tuition, like you're not paying extra credit fees or anything like that. So that also means that like you, once your like undergraduate years end, like you're simply just paying for less classes when you continue the rest of the master's program, because you've already completed 3 courses during your time as an undergraduate that were covered by your tuition already. So that's definitely a plus. Also, just in terms of like networking and connections, like your connections are at Fordham. They can continue at Fordham. They can continue in New York City, especially if you're doing something that's like within a huge center sort of in New York City. Like I'm in communications. Mine is going towards public media, and like New York City communications, that's pretty big. So it just kind of like makes sense for me. Trying to think of the one, I'm literally, it's sitting on the back of my head. And what am I, the last thing I wanted to add about it, about a benefit? Don't remember. But drawbacks, I would say, just like if you're looking into a very specific graduate program and you know you do want to go to graduate school, it's always like good to look at like other graduate school opportunities, because just because Fordham offers a program doesn't mean it may be the strongest program in like your field or anything. There might be like better options for you, and also programs have specific focuses. So like the public media one that I'm in takes a real focus on nonprofit and ethics, but that's might not be what you want to get out of it. So like always take a look at that, and especially like what they concentrate their classes on, and the connections within their departments and stuff. You always want to make sure, because that matters a lot. In terms of, is it possible to be an accelerated program while also planning on study abroad? Yeah, that's fine. Because you study abroad during your undergraduate. Whoa, I don't know what sound that was. You study abroad during your undergraduate years, and you can take up to 3 courses during your senior year. So if you, for some reason, decided to study abroad in your senior year, even though I don't recommend that, do it during like your sophomore or junior year. You like technically don't have to do that. So they just like continue in like the first year of like your program. So like it doesn't really affect it that much, if that makes sense. Awesome. Is that the only other question? That's Evelyn's message. Haha. Okay. But it might have been a question. If anyone has any other questions, feel free to come off mute or drop it in the chat.
Sawyer says, do professors usually provide breaks in the middle of double periods? Any other insight on the longer run time?
Yeah, I've had pretty good luck with professors giving a break. I've had no professors who have been like, that's absolutely not a case. So usually those are just under 3 hours, and about halfway through, more or less, they'll give you a 10-minute break. And usually everyone just kind of grabs water, checks their phones, goes to the restroom. So usually, yeah, you're gonna have a good amount of time. And luckily there's everything you need in most of the academic buildings. So yeah, yes, to answer that, yes.
I did have one gentleman in particular who did not give the break. He was not my favorite, but I did get pretty used. I just give myself a bathroom break and then eat a snack from my bag, take a drink, collect my thoughts, and go back. So you can always make a break if you're not given one, but generally they do, and they're pretty nice about it. Some professors will give you a long time.
Ooh, that's a very good question from Samuel. How long did it take to get comfortable navigating the city?
Okay, I guess for me, it wasn't too bad because I moved February of this year to the city and was there for till the end of this semester basically, but it only took a couple weeks, honestly, just because not only you're integrated in the city basically with your campus, so you kind of get to know and the city around you, get to see the people walking around. Central Park's right there. And just don't be afraid to actually go explore on your own or with friends, because it doesn't hurt to like walk down the streets. No one really minds, and everyone minds their own business most of the time. Like one time I saw a guy shouting across the street, in the middle of the street, saying, I'm going to kill all of you. And everyone was just walking by normally. So you're going to see stuff like that. But it's just, those are things you're going to see in New York City. But it honestly doesn't take that long. Everyone's here to help you out. The OCs are amazing. Your OLE leaders are always here, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't know if there's other commuters who are students or the panelists. So as a commuter, it takes, I'm sorry, my dog just ran in, but I live more downtown Manhattan. So it takes me about 40 minutes average to get to campus. But when I was first transferring, I gave myself a little over an hour every time, just because I wanted to get used to running different routes. I would take one that transferred, and then I took one that would have me walk through the park a little bit more. And so I find that, I know some people, like New Yorkers, like to leave things at the last minute, but if you can, like, totally stretch out some time and allow yourself to kind of get lost, definitely like Google Maps is the best for navigating trips, and you can plug it in for walking or the subway. I feel like the subway is definitely, people are getting still used to that. But I think the city, it comes to you. The city will open itself up to you if you kind of open yourself up to it. I know that sounds cheesy, but it is so true. And in terms of just kind of navigating the city, like, definitely, if you have a weekend, like, people want to explore. So just go, choose the East Village, choose Battery Park, choose Washington Heights, like, I don't know, wherever it is, and just take a couple afternoons and go explore. That's such a great thing about where we live. I saw Evelyn wanted to say something. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna add, I didn't have a very good time adjusting to the city and figuring out where, what to do, because I kind of had a lot of crazy friends. I was pretty introverted. So my number one recommendation is to kind of see someone in your class and then ask them to do something, which I know really scary and intimidating to do, but it's the best way to kind of meet people. Also your roommates, it's also good to talk to your roommates, but because I had a awkward time, I'm actually campus ministry is basically having students put host their own little groups, non-religious. So I'm going to be hosting one that's about communication and the post-COVID world, and for first year students, and kind of talking about toxic friendships and how to talk to professors, and all of that type of thing. Because I was a mess as a freshman. I've really been able to kind of take my time to kind of get it together. So that's something that I just wanted to throw out there to market myself a little bit.
Yeah, the city was an adjustment for me. I am from a very small town in Pennsylvania, Yeehaw, Redneck, Pennsylvania. So it took me a little bit, maybe a few weeks, I'd say maybe a month to really get comfortable. I accidentally sent myself to the Bronx once. Those uptown and downtown entrances get a little confusing, pay attention. But I'm very trusting. Maybe it's my upbringing, but I've never had that abused. That was something I was super worried about, that I was gonna get tricked. But that never happened. Just go with the flow. Most people have good intentions, and be smart, but don't be scared, because there's nothing to be afraid of.
The next question in the chat is 15 minutes between classes manageable? Is the campus easy to navigate?
Yes, it is. I would say get comfortable. If you're in Lowenstein, get comfortable with taking the stairs. So if you're that person who gets on at the 4th floor to go to the 6th floor, everyone's gonna be mad at you. That's just a fact. So take those 2 flights of stairs, everything. I mean, one thing is, make sure you give yourself enough time at the big breaks, because if you're going to the 10th floor, I get not taking the stairs for that, but people will cram into the elevators. So give yourself enough time for that, but 15 minutes is absolutely enough time to get between campus classes in Lowenstein. Most classes will be in Lowenstein, or if they're in another campus, all of the, I don't know who has or hasn't been to campus yet, but all of the buildings are connected by underground tunnels. So even if it's freezing cold outside, you actually don't need to leave the building. So it is very easy.
Yeah, in terms of the elevator, so basically the building where most of like the FCLC classes are at least just goes straight up. It's like a vertical campus, essentially. And with the elevators, like any sense of personal space you think you have will be completely eradicated when you start entering these elevators. So I like in the beginning, I would leave for class like 30 minutes early, which my roommates kind of made fun of me for, but it gave me like enough time to not be in the elevator with like 30 people, to go down the McKeon elevator, like nice and relaxed. So that's what I personally recommend in terms of navigating the campus. But in terms of like time between classes, it's no problem whatsoever.
We do. Ooh. Hey, Stephanie. We do have another question. These are all very great questions that are coming in, by the way. Like, I don't know. Y'all got something up here. We can see it. That's why you're coming to Fordham. Great questions. Okay, for those from warm areas, what was it like adjusting to the weather in New York City? So I think there are a couple of you that can speak on this one.
Yeah, so Matthew, that's a great question. So being from California, we're kind of used to like the heat over here all the time. For us, once it's 70, you put on like a huge jacket just because our bodies aren't adjusted to the cold over here since we never get rain or anything. So at first it was a little hard to adjust, especially moving during like the winter months. I wasn't smart enough to plan ahead and take like a big winter coat. So I was like taking a sweater. I'm like, I'll be fine. And then I got there and I was freezing to death. So I would recommend just making sure to at least bring like one big sweater or two for you, especially during the winter months, because it's going to be really cold, especially if you're from like the West Coast area or Texas or something like that, where it's really, yeah, Evelyn brings up a good point. Get waterproof Tims and ski socks. Your feet will be cold or wet if you don't plan ahead of time. So yeah, just plan ahead.
Yes, I'm also from a very warm place. Being from Bermuda and being international was very huge culture shock, temperature wise alone. My biggest friend when it comes to the winter is layering, because you're going to be, at least for me, like commuting or just walking around the city exploring, you're going to be in and out of places that are blasting heat, like the subway, getting in and out of classrooms. So I would definitely, like what Edward said, like definitely have a good coat that you can throw on, pack with you, that you look good in, you feel good in, but also like know that you can pull it off and kind of readjust your body type. So that maybe that's a bad tip, but that was for me like very helpful thing about like, I was also like so afraid I was gonna be freezing all the time, and I only packed like cold things like to wear, and it would be great until I was sitting down for a couple minutes and I was sweating. So that's my 2 cents.
All right, our next question in the chat is, are the counseling services offered through Fordham pretty accessible / non-stigmatized? Also, yes, I endorse the glove recommendation as well.
I could talk about CPS because I've had some experience with CPS, if that's helpful. So for your counseling and psychological services, let me just find the question. Aha, perfect. So I think they're working on being more accessible to students, because I think the biggest problem right now that they're currently working on is making sure that they have enough staff to accommodate students. If you know that you're someone that might need someone to talk to more regularly throughout the year, and you want to particularly do that through Fordham, because you do get 10 free sessions included in your tuition. every academic year, so the entire year, not per semester. That's always an area of confusion. The best thing to do is reach out to them as early as possible so that you can set up a schedule and make sure that you have that routine with whoever you're paired with in the office. Intake is very, very simple. You just have to call them. They'll set up a time to do a phone interview intake thing. It takes like 5 minutes. And it's just so they can match you with someone in their office that can best suit your needs. If you find that you're not comfortable working with someone at Fordham, or maybe it is a little hard to schedule just because it's later in the semester and, during the transition into college, like things come up. It's like natural, it's part of life, it's part of becoming an adult, and you really don't have the opportunity to work with their office. They are very helpful in helping you find someone outside of Fordham that can accommodate your needs, especially for people that might need a little more long-term care. I've had that experience with them. They've helped me find a therapist outside of Fordham. That was very super helpful for me. I eventually did switch therapists, but at the time I was very new to the process of just kind of like going about this because I had put it off for so long. And it was really helpful to kind of have someone on top of me, like making sure that I'm doing it and then like reaching out to make sure that I did schedule an appointment. So I appreciate them very, very much for that. And I will say it is also pretty non-stigmatized. I think discussions about mental health are something that students are very, very open to on this campus. And people are very willing to like talk about the things that, we need to destigmatize. So definitely not stigmatized here. Next question in the chat is, how was the move to LC as an out-of-state student? Should I wait to get to the dorm, get dorm stuff in New York, or bring some things from home? Today I learned how to read. Anyone want to take that one?
Oh, you can go, Emma.
Oh, okay, I was gonna just jump on. I'm not far, so I'm a driver to campus and I have a little bit more flexibility in Pennsylvania, but my roommate is from Hawaii. So she definitely has gone through this. So she brings her 2 suitcases and that's what comes with her. So what we did as our freshman year kind of as a bonding experience, we went shopping together. So that was the very first day during orientation, maybe missed some programming. And we went, not me, I know, I'm a real follower, but we went shopping together and that was kind of our first little way to like make it our home. And that way we also went in on some of the things together and we still share them now 3 years later. There's some things that we bought together that first day. So definitely don't stress. There's a Bed Bath & Beyond nearby that I know a lot of kids go to. I haven't been to the new Target. I don't know if they have any home stuff at that Target. But there's definitely places. And if you're an online shopper, our mailroom's pretty good. There's an Amazon locker. So I definitely am more toward the buy it later camp, so you don't bring things you don't need.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. Because traveling such a far distance, especially if you're across the country or internationally, you can only take so much in your suitcases. So I would say just take your clothes, some smaller items, maybe some, I don't know, body products, skincare products, anything like that. And then when you're here, you want to buy the bigger products. Like, I don't know, for some people, bedding is usually huge. So maybe wait for bedding when you get here and buy bedding over here. That way your suitcases won't be stuffed to the brim. Also, like bigger furniture, like if you want a mirror over here. And also, I would recommend when you're over here, if you ever go grocery shopping and if you buy a lot of groceries, maybe one of those small carts. That's a big thing in New York, getting those small carts, because if you want to go to Trader Joe's, it is a distance and those carts are really helpful. So yeah.
Carts are literally life-changing. I will second that. Next question, which I'm not, unless anyone has an answer to, if anyone has applied for campus jobs before, do you know when you'll find out the results of the campus job applications? I don't know if Stephanie or Hannah, you would happen to know that, but if it's part of like a work study program, that'll probably come with your financial aid package and just whatever dates and deadlines they kind of lay out for you there, just follow that. If you just apply to a campus job outside of work study, it mostly probably just depends on the department and their need and when they'll get back to you. Sorry, we can't be a little more helpful with that. Any other questions? Hey, I have a question. My question is, what was like the best New York moment for you? Like only what you could get in New York and nowhere else. And I want everyone to share. Who's next? Who's up first?
I guess I'll go. For me, the like best New York moment really felt like a main character moment because it was in Central Park and I was watching like the sort of like lake area there and seeing like the people in their boats and everything, and you can hear the city behind you, but then someone right next to me was playing this like beautiful song, and I don't know what instrument, but when I was recording it like synced to like the view and the birds chirping and everything, it combining with like the city sounds, and it was just so beautiful, and you can only really get that here in New York because the nature side of stuff and then like the industrial side of things. So that was amazing.
Okay. Okay. I agree with Edward. Like, there's so many things that just kind of happen so spontaneously. But a couple weeks ago, I was in the city. I'm 21, so I was out for drinks with a friend of mine, and our servers were just so much fun. And we were just sitting there drinking and laughing. And the kind of servers who were like, "Oh, what's your name? What's your name? What can I get you? Let me get you this." And all of a sudden, in a packed restaurant, my server found a ring on the floor and came up to me, got down on one knee, and was like, "Margaret." Like, and everyone in the restaurant's like, "Whoa," and I was like, "Bro, what?" But they brought us free dessert and everything, and I was like, I'm keeping the ring. Like, I no, but I'm gonna keep the ring. And it was in Hell's Kitchen, and we literally just laughed for blocks after leaving there. And they're like, "You have to come back." I'm like, "I don't know, but thank you." And so just things like that happen all of the time. I wish I could remember his name, but I'm thinking of you, babe. So can't wait for the wedding.
For my perfect day, so this was back 2019. I won the fan lottery for Hamilton, and so I got $10 seats, and they were like beautiful orchestra seats, and I paid $10 for them. So hands down, the best day ever to begin with. And then, so that day came, I went with my one suite mate, and we went to Hamilton, best thing ever. And then we went for cheesecake after, and we vibed with our waiter, and he ended up giving us our cheesecake for free. And then on our way home, this tourist family gave us their Metro cards because they were leaving. So like our subway ride was free. Like the only thing I paid that day was $10 to see Hamilton. And I don't know if I'll ever top that. I think I may have peaked that day.
So I have a pretty interesting story from when I was a freshman. I think it was like the second week of school, maybe second or third. And there's this tattoo shop right by campus. It's like a couple blocks away. And they were having this sale. It was like $20 tattoo. So I texted some people that I had just met. I was like, "Hey guys, do you want to like do this?" So we went at 4:00, and they were like, "Yeah, it's an 8-hour wait." So I was like, fine with me. So then my other friend was like, "Hey, it's like fashion week. Do you want to go to this warehouse in Brooklyn to do like a thrifting, like anti-fashion week event that they're doing?" So I was like, "Yeah, sure." So a group of us went to a random warehouse in Brooklyn, and there was like a pile of clothes in the middle of the floor, and you got in the pile and just picked what you wanted from it for free. And I still have like everything I picked from that floor. And then we like took the subway back and like got these tattoos. It was me and another girl. who got them, and I was fine because I've had like I got two before, and I just got like a sunflower on my ankle, so like it didn't hurt or anything. Um, but like one of my friends, she got like a match, and it was her first kind of like serious tattoo, and she was like, oh my god, this hurts so much. Like she was like having a mental breakdown in the tattoo shop, and I was like, it doesn't hurt that much, and she was like, oh my god. So that was my pretty like New York moment. It was kind of, were my parents super proud of me? No. Did I have a good time? Yes.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing your most New York moments. Love to hear it. Just gonna bounce back to, again, if I say your name wrong, I'm so sorry. Arazu, you had a question. If you want to come off mute and ask it.
Hi. Okay, so they sent out emails for campus job applications a while ago. Do you know when we're gonna hear back from that? Like get the results?
We don't know. That depends on your like department. Like if you applied through, if it was through work study, then that's like their own deadlines. If it's just you applied for on campus jobs, that depends on the department. Probably get in touch with them directly. They'll know more than we do. So sorry.
You're good. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Going to go back. I'm also gonna probably head on out now just to do a little cleanup after today's event. So Stephanie and Hannah will be with you all. So nice to meet you guys. I can't find Matthew's question, but
It
Stephanie can say
says,
it.
yeah, it says, how often do Lincoln Center residents go to Rose Hill?
I would say my case, even with like COVID and everything going on and being an online student, I still went pretty often to the Rose Hill campus just because you have access to the Ram van, subway, metro, everything like that. And then you can make connections with people at the Rose Hill campus. So it's not, especially I feel like with COVID, it helped us unify more as a campus because people used to make it feel like two whole separate colleges in a sorts, but we're all Fordham students. And I have some great friends at Rose Hill. If you guys ever meet Carol Gibney at the campus ministry, she's also great. She goes back and forth. That's how I kind of went back and forth, especially with like the organization I'm working with. So I would say pretty often, especially if you have classes over there or if you join a club over there, you can get tickets for the Ram van at no extra cost. Just have to talk to the departments. And yeah.
I've also been known to make a Rose Hill appearance. I love their library. It's a little bit older, but it's much larger. So if I have a giant, paper I need to do and I don't want to, I'll pack my bags and go up there, mostly because I can't go home as easily. So I'll make myself get it done before I leave. So if you need to pressure yourself in that way, go for it. They have a Starbucks and we don't. So there's definitely some perks to going on up there.
Any other questions? Oh, do you have any food recs for Rose Hill on campus? I can't answer this. We had two OLs who've been to Rose Hill a lot. I've actually never been to Rose Hill. So you can have it either way. You can either be solely LC or you can mix it up. So I don't have food recs if the other OLs do.
Well, one, their dining hall is so much bigger than ours, and you're not going to be happy when you see it because it's so much bigger than ours. But the food is the same quality, unfortunately. Not all campus food's bad, but they have more options. So if you need to spice it up and you're on your dining plan, that's one way to do it. But they have one, I want to say is it Cozy? It's almost Panera Bread like. And I liked that. I was only there once, but I enjoyed that. That's right down by the library. So if you're down there and need like a sandwich, soup, salad type deal, that's a good place.
I've never heard this rumor.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
not quite sure.
I've heard the rumor, but I don't know if it's, I don't know, because we did talk about this in our political science class, and people said it was true, but others said no. So it could go either way. We're talking about what how do you say it? Some
Aramark or Aramark, that one?
yeah, arrow mark, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe do a bit more digging and then you can let us know.
Honestly, my high school, my boarding school, actually the same service. It wasn't the same staff, but the same service provided to local prisons, not maximum security or anything like that. And it was pretty good. So even if that's the case, wouldn't be worried about. I don't know if it's true. I'm not saying it is true. Definitely not. But hey, that'd be fun. I don't know.
Yeah, and then not only that, there's great, if you don't want to eat campus food, there's also just great places to eat in New York City. I know Roosevelt Deli has amazing stuff. Also, the Flame Diner, Olympic Diner. Also, the burrito box is really good. So if you want burritos, they sell great burritos. But yeah, just take advantage of your surroundings.
I will say I miss dining hall breakfast my freshman year. I did not appreciate that when I had it. Someone used to make me an omelet every morning. I don't remember his name anymore. He used to listen to Pearl Jam every day and had a Batman tattoo. Great guy. He used to get mine started before I got there. And like that doesn't happen anymore. I have to make my own stuff. So definitely like some of the breakfasts I loved, and there were some things that were super good. So I have love-hate with Airmark, but oh, the omelets, I miss them. So check those out.
So it's just about 6:30, which is the time that this session is meant to end. So while we wrap up, could I maybe ask all of the OLs to explain their why Fordham story? Why did y'all choose to come to Fordham?
I think I want to get mine out of the way. So my why Fordham was my like dead set like dream school. I got rejected my first year actually, and I went to another university in the city in New York, and I was bitter and I was so upset, and I was still kind of hell bent on going to Fordham. Sorry, but I made myself a total nuisance, and I did a summer program there. It's the city. It's just, as much as, it's college and it's everyone's kind of their own path and it's New York, it's crazy how much it feels like a tight knit community. Like maybe I'm crazy, but like I genuinely feel like when I walk on that campus, like I feel like I belong there. I feel like even if I don't know everybody, like there's gonna be someone I know, and there's gonna be someone who wants to like say hi to me or greet me all the time. Like even people I don't. I remember like Valentine's Day a couple years ago, there was a kid just handing out candy in the elevators, and like that's the kind of thing that Fordham just has. And so I really made myself a nuisance to the transfer admissions dean, and I would email her like once a week, and like would come up to campus and be like, "Are you around?" And I, as soon as like I sent in my application, I was like, "Oh, I just submitted it." She was like, "Can't wait to read it." And I was like, "I feel good about this." And I transferred, and I have no regrets. So I really hope you guys feel the same way I do about Fordham when I show up on campus. And even though I don't know most people, and you're in the middle of New York City with millions and millions of people, it does feel like you're kind of escaped that for a minute, walking around like the courtyard there. It's so cool. So, ooh.
I'll go next. Fordham was not on my radar at all. So mine's kind of a different story. I came into the city right before it was time to apply, and I came to tour NYU. And my dad's like, "Hey, why don't we have to do something in the morning. Why don't we go look at Fordham Lincoln Center? Like we have some time to kill." So I went on the Fordham tour, and I was like, wow, like this campus is awesome. And I was super comfortable, and I really loved what I heard. And then we hopped on the train downtown and started the NYU tour. And I was like, wow, I don't like this at all. I actually left the tour early. It was just not my vibe, not for me. So I came home and like started doing my homework on Fordham. And I think honestly, my tour guide that very first day is what sold me on Fordham. She was super, super welcoming and really stressed like that family feel that you were just hinting on. like you walk around campus and you know people all the time, like they're familiar faces. You're not a number at Fordham. You're very much a family member. Like it's the Ramily. But it's definitely offers probably, I can't imagine that there's anything else like it. Like such a small community in such a big city. So you get that, bonded feel, but you also have every option in the world at your fingertips. And I also can't imagine being anywhere else. This was the best decision I could have made.
I can go. So for me, I was kind of like all over the place with the colleges I applied to because I did not know like where I stood in like the academic hierarchy that is like the college in this admission system. So I got down to Fordham and then another school in Boston, and I went to accepted student stays for both. And for the Fordham one, I was sitting in a like panel about like internships and jobs, and the lady said like you can use the core to your advantage in a job interview and be like, I took a philosophy class, so I have this skill. And I was like, oh, okay. And then after that, like a little while later, I was like walking in the plaza and I like looked up and saw all the tall buildings, and like I kind of had a main character moment. I was like, okay, I'm supposed to be here. Like this is it. Like I can like boost up my philosophy class and also like have green in the middle of the city.
Yeah, so for me, my Fordham story is a bit different because of COVID and everything, but I didn't even know about the school or anything until I got an email. I guess everyone's familiar with this, getting emails from different colleges, campus across who knows where, just sending you emails. And I got this and I was like, oh, it's interesting. So I decided to do my research and I applied and got in. But then COVID hit and everything, so I couldn't visit the campus or anything like that. So I decided to go to another school in the city, but virtually. And then at that school, I was like, I don't know if this is really for me. And then I started thinking about like Fordham and what if I went there? And the same day I thought about like going to Fordham, I got an email in my inbox saying, oh, the accelerated transfer program, are you interested or not? And stuff like that. So I took it as a sign. I was like, clearly stuff are adding up. And so I decided to send in my application, got accepted. And when I got here, it's just the environment. Several people probably haven't even been on campus, but it does feel like you are part of something even greater than yourself sometimes. And everyone here is so understanding and loving, and just, it really does feel like a family. Cause I remember the first day I like got onto campus and got into like the housing, a girl in the elevator said hi to me and asked me like what my name was and everything. You wouldn't expect that like other campuses, but here, those are things you tend to expect. I think all of us here are excited to go back to some sort of normal again and excited to see all your guys' faces. So yeah, just enjoy it for what it is.
Those are all such lovely answers. It's getting me a little bit emotional. I too could write a Fordham love letter at this point. But as you can see, we all love Fordham so much, and I hope that all your incoming students grow to love it as much as we do. We're so excited. Oh, okay, for a moment being so. Stop. Me too. Not the cardboard cutout of the Pope. But yeah, so we hope that y'all grow to love Fordham as much as we do. We're so excited to welcome y'all to campus. We're so glad we got to meet you today, even virtually. And we're so excited to see you finally in person. And we hope you enjoyed the session today. So it's so nice meeting you all. And we'll see you in the fall. I'm gonna stop the